Right. Welcome back again. What I'm doing, let me take my phone out. For some reason my video shut off and didn't record anything. Today's project is making my cover for the steering column. Factory on those, is actually two pieces. You can see here I've got the left side laid out. I still got to cut it out. I'll cut this part out first, and then the whole piece. I got the right side cut out, and you can see here I'm getting ready to use my 1 7/8 hole saw to cut that out. Where this line is, that's where I'm going to flange it, so it'll go back, which would be down, and then up, so that the other side will sit flush in there instead of overlap or on top. I was measuring this. It's actually 13 gauge. It's a little thick for this, but hey, it's what I got on hand, so I'm going to put you in the tripod and we'll go from there. Turn it. Zoom you in a little bit. My air protection, my WD-40. Alright, we'll go from there. I don't know the speed. Not easy. I hate how to walk too. There it is. Nice clean up. Clean up on aisle 3. Sorry. Bad joke. This way. Alright. That's good enough for this piece until I clean it. I know I shouldn't do this, but habits hard to break. Okay. Now, I went to get paint today, and they were out of the color. So I had to deal with just getting some primer, which is alright. Unfortunately, they didn't have the gray primer, so I had to get the flat black primer. That's the bad thing about this Olympia 4-inch vise, is it only has the one's nut or tensioner on. Oops, sorry. Right. Where am I? Right there. Alright, I'm going to rotate you. And of course, I'll mute this with the grinding. thing doesn't work that good. That helps. So let's put that work. Maybe we can pause this. Okay, repositioned you. This out of the way. This. Where's my glove? Gonna clean the paint off. One thing I just looked at is on my tool here. Where is it? There it is. That's the flanger. It's not quite 3/4 of an inch deep. So I'm just going to go with it, see if it'll actually flange that heavier metal. And it's also got a hole punch in there for doing plug welds. But I never use it. I've had this tool probably 20 years. I think I got it from Eastwood. Back when. I think I've used it twice, and that was on the Cetera. Oh, sitting right in front of my face. But that didn't work out. I showed this before in my videos, but this is a piece of the leftover from the utility box that was on the F350 I tore down. And if you notice, I didn't see how bad that was rusted, so I should have moved over more. But if you notice the color differential here, this metal had that aluma coat on it to help prevent rusting. So, not like it did a great job. Anyway, yeah, just showing that. Clean the backside off because I still got to cut the notch. I forgot to. Okay, this side's rusted even more. I didn't notice that when it's pretty heavily pitted, but it'll work for what I'm doing. Okay, how am I going to cut that out? Let me see if I can cut it on the shear. Might be too tight of an angle or corner. Okay. Alright, let's change cutting wheel. And I'll just have to cut it that way. Alright, I'll move you back over here. Line you up. And actually, sorry, put you over here more so I'm not blocking you. And use the flat disc to smooth it out. And then we'll test fit it around the steering column. Oh, no, we go there. Okay, let's see. There's this camera was screwing up. That fits pretty good. I'll put a rubber seal around it. All right. Let me move you to the passenger side of the truck. And we'll see how it fits the hole. All right, let me go on the other side. I'm cramped. Dang. Alright. I'm going to have to flatten this out some because there's a dip here, a high spot here, and a high spot over here. Might be able to see it rocking. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Oh, there we go. Yep, right like that. That's how she be. Of course, I don't have my marker to mark it. Yeah, I got an edge on there. Problem I discovered with that transmission cover, excuse me, is when they bent this up, it disformed it. And now, if I put the back down, on this side, you can see how much that side lifts up, plus the front. And this is tight here against this piece. This is way over what it should be on there. It's like an 1/8 to 1/4 inch. So, excuse me. I did have that measured pretty good. Sweet. All right. I'm gonna try. Oh, I gotta clean the paint off of this one piece. Then get my air hose hooked up and ran. Still running my air compressor from the small shop out here. Stop or pause. got everything set up, and I'll show you how this works. I already did it backwards. You can see, I hope you can see the offset now. Kind of hard to see it. So, put it in, get it lined up, squeeze it. And just keep going. And I'll actually make 2 passes just to make sure it's good. So now, once this is screwed into the floor, this piece will actually lay over the top of it, giving a nice flush fit. Let's see if you can see that. So, yep, that's it. And I did dig up another piece of angle iron. I'm going to clean up and get that made to connect my shifter handle to the linkage. And then I can figure out where I got to grind my notches for the gears on it. But next I got to mark this, where to drill it. And I'll use the punch that's on this side. You can see it now, I hope. I don't know if you can see that or not. Kinda. There you go. Get against the red. Anyways, that punches, looks like a 3/16 hole, maybe a 1/4 inch. So, let me get this marked and I'll punch those. Okay, the hole punch depth on this is not deep enough for getting clear back in here, so I had to break out my Whitney punch. But I don't need that deep or that big a hole for screws. Should have had this set up before I turned the camera back on. Been a while since I used that. Or changed hole sizes, I should say. No, really? Good grief. Isn't that? Whatever. Oh shoot, my 3/16 is chipped. Yeah, I'll use it anyways. Pair of vice grips here. I can loosen that, screw up. Anyways, I hope everybody had a good week. I actually got my video edited last night, and it's ready to upload. I just need to upload it. It looks like I'll actually have 2 out this week. All kinds of stuff in that one. Been perfect if I'd have had a 1/4 inch. But that got broke a long time ago. This is what's tricky with these. Come on. Getting them to line up. Hello. I will be having my back surgery in 2 weeks from today. So I will be out of commission for 8 weeks. And that sucks. Not looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to hopefully this takes care of the pain issues. That I've been having for the last 40 years. Whoops. Yeah, that ain't gonna punch through it. Well, at least it gives me a reference. Hey, that's the sound we want to hear. Yep. 2 holes. Where's the other one? I'm going to drill that one because I can't see it when I lay it in there. Alright. Okay. There's 2 other holes on this side that I got to mark, so I'll bring you back after I get that done. Okay, last 2 holes. They're kind of a booger to find. Way off. All right. Yeah. When you do these, actually, I'm going to back that off. Phew. Dang. Yeah. Tiny bit off. This one's going to be a pain because it's right up next to the flange. Alright, let me double check it. 1 hole and I'm set. start working on the bracket for the shifter. Okay, found some important parts that I was looking for. I found my battery hold down screws, but I couldn't find my piece of angle iron that goes across it. I did find I had my piece of rebar that I bent a while back that gets welded on here. I found my bolt. It's going to get and stuff. It's going to get welded in here, so I can put tension on the center. Because right now the center is down a little over 1/16 of an inch. So it's sitting high, or no, it's sitting low here, arched up here. So it's high here and low here. So, but when you look down here, it's even, it's touching. It's up there. So I got to put this in, weld this in, so I can put tension on the center. That way I can get nice even crisp bends across there. What else? Yeah, the coffee can had all kinds of stuff in it. The original fender mounting bolts. My pieces to hold my clips for my brake lines on the front, so I get those put in. I don't have to buy any, so that'll be nice. Yeah, just all kinds of good little things. Cord's catching on my stool. Yeah, because of my cord. I got both pieces hanging up there drying. So, yeah, once I get it in and filled that, cover that hole, then I'll paint it the backside to match. I did find, what did I do with it? My bracket to mount, or to hold my brake lines together. Mount it to the fender well. So that's a good thing. And I found a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to cut my piece of angle iron. I need to mark it, or measure it and then mark it. Okay, this is going to be the final part for this week's video. I got a few things accomplished. I wasn't able to record because I was busy uploading the video for Thursday, so that can't be interrupted by recording. So anyways, what I'll do is I'll turn the phone around and show you where I got accomplished. Let me move this transmission cover out of the way. Alright, sorry for my hand. So as you see, the shifter is actually in. Let me try and get in here. And it's actually connected to the linkage now. And you can see areas where I did grind notches. So let me back up if I can. Over here, I just grab it. That's reverse. Neutral. Drive. Second. And first. And if it's in gear, it won't slide forward, but you can always slide back. So if I'm in drive, I can drop it down into second, but then I gotta raise it up and go in to drive again. So So that's all hooked up. I'm noticing, let me turn my flashlight on. Some wet, shiny spot down here. Since I've been moving the shifter, the linkage, that shaft is leaking. And that's also the same one that the passing gear's hooked to. Well, yeah. I mean, I gotta get a passing gear cable. What else did I do? Oh, yeah. Let me get out of here. Alright, I worked on the steering column. Oof, man, that light's bright. Okay. I worked on the steering column. Got the, sorry for the close-up, got the old one apart and the housing off of it. Got the new one cleaned up, all painted. What I got to do next is take the housing, get it cleaned up and painted, and oh, this was a pain in the butt to get off the old column, but I gotta clean some rust off there and go ahead and scuff it up and shoot it. And then once it's set up, put it on the new column. I've got a wiring diagram to sort out turn signals, flasher, all that. So when I hook it up in the truck, I'm good with that. Yeah, I got to clean up the shop again. Major disaster after all the work I'd done this week. Get this painted and put back on the new steering column, install the steering column, and I can come back in and install the cover plates. That'd be done. Shoot, what's next? Redo the inner fender well where the paint's messed up. I do have to redo the coat on the cold air intake tubes. There's some light spots in the run on those. I'm not sure about that paint. Sometimes it sprays really good and other times it sprays real thick and causes runs. I mean, you could see in my previous video I was a good foot away from the material when I was spraying it. So, yeah, get that done, all the steering done, hooked back up, then I can put that fender well in, that's ready, get it all bolted. Then I want to jump back inside, finish the transmission cover, go ahead and do the body work where I shaved all the switches and stuff, try and get the wiring finished, and finish insulating the floor, get the dash painted, the rest of the interior. And then it's back out here to get back on the fenders, get them done, and radiator core support, get that finished. I probably should do that while I'm out here working, but then it's get the grill done and get it mounted back up, headlights in. I got to do my cold air intake tubes to come down under the grill bar. Yeah, there's quite a bit left to do. I'm not going to make it getting all that done before my surgery. So I'm just going to try and get as much done as possible. But I'm going to end this video here for this Sunday. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Appreciate the likes, comments. If you do comment, by all means, please do. And I appreciate you sharing the videos with people. It does help my channel to grow, which I'd like to see it grow. I think last I checked, I had 71 followers. For now, I'd like to see it double that, at least hit 150. And I'll be good with that for a while. Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye and thanks again.